Lift Every Voice and Sing, a song also known as the Black National Anthem, will be played prior to the Star-Spangled Banner before every Week 1 NFL game. Shannon, what was your reaction when you heard this?
Skip, I don't want to come off as being ungrateful. But for me, this is another symbolic gesture. And I've asked, okay, playing this, how much closer does this get us to economic equality? How much closer does this get us to ending systemic and institutional racism? What is this going to do about the hiring practices for minorities in the NFL? Does playing this get us closer to that? At some point in time, Skip, you know what the thing is? What I'm seeing from a lot of institutions is that what you're doing is that you're dipping your foot in the water, but ain't nobody wanting to dive in because of all the things that transpired. And George Floyd tragically lost his life, was murdered over 6 weeks ago. Skip, really, the only state that's really done anything is Colorado. They've done away with qualified immunity. Yep. That's the only one. Now, everybody else keep talking about, oh, we won't change, we won't change. What wanting it is one thing. What are you going to do to bring about that change? NFL, thank you. Okay, I get it. It's another great symbolic gesture. The NFL is, you know, oh, we doing all this. But come on, bro. Enough of these gestures for me. Skip, don't pat me on the back and not provide a service for me that shows me, that truly shows me that you care about me.
Yep.
How long do they think this is going to go? Okay, you're going to play this before every week one a game. And then black people going to look around and they're going to be like, oh, my God, they playing that. And then what? Hell, my situation around me hasn't changed. I'm still impoverished. These laws that are enacted still doesn't help me. So what have you done? Come on, look, Skip. I'm not really big into symbolic gestures without a cause, without something deeper. Snatch down the statues, but not before you give me economic equality. Snatch the monuments and take away words and names off buildings. But let's get rid of this economic. Let's get rid of this injustices that we see. And I hope, Skip. Look, if you've ever cared for a child, and women know what I'm talking about, Skip. There's a difference between a child being hungry and a child being needed to be satisfied with a pacifier. Stop giving us these pacifiers. We're hungry. Feed us. Don't pacify us anymore.
Well said. So when I first saw this headline, my first thought was about you. And I wondered if you would have the reaction that you just gave me about this. And I realize the National Football League is in a tricky spot here because do we do enough or do we look like we're doing too much?
Yeah, but ain't nobody asked for this.
No.
Stop doing things we're not asking for. We had this big argument with Terry Crews. Terry Crews has been catching flack, Skip, because he says we got to make sure Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better. Can we just get the Black Lives equal before we step over the threshold and talk about Black Lives are better? Can we do something meaningful before we start playing the Black National Anthem? Nobody asked you to play that.
What if the NFL did nothing? How would you feel?
Well, hell, they ain't doing nothing now. We had the Rooney Rule. They had to go back and add some more paragraphs and more language for the Rooney Rule.
Okay.
For what?
But if I'm talking about on week 1, if there were no symbolic gestures, if it just came and went, would you be offended by that?
No, I'm offended by it because I hope that they don't think because people are not in the street like they were the first month that this is going away. It's not going away, Skip. It's not. People finally, Skip, people are starting to see, man, I can see progress can be made. So now must hold people accountable. Man.
So I thought a lot about this last night because it hit me in my head and then all the way down to my heart that the black community has needed its own national anthem. That's all you need to know. That's how sad that is. That the gravity of that hit me right between the eyes last night.
Right.
I've known about Lift Every Voice.
Yeah.
It's always been out there. It's great. It was a poem originally that was put to music by two brothers. It's beautiful. I would encourage everyone, black, white, any color, go read the lyrics. Just call it up on just Google for the lyrics of the song and just read. especially the middle verse, is stunning to me.
Right.
But if we're going to play the Black national anthem, then the national anthem back to back before the game, it almost feels like Toronto's playing Golden State in the NBA Finals, and we got to play the Canadian anthem.
Play both of them.
And then, right, and it's like there's something wrong with this picture,
Right?
Because silly me, idealistic me, I grew up thinking one nation under God, indivisible. Well, it never was.
Never.
And you grew up looking at it completely upside down. Okay, so I have been enlightened, and I have seen and felt, and from my perspective, as much as I would love for us to have one anthem that we all could believe in, you have needed for years your anthem. Maybe there'll come a time when you don't. But the important point is, do we need this symbolic gesture to go on? Do we need to play your national anthem every game all year,
Right.
at least to keep the conversation going, to keep the focus on what really matters? Obviously, what matters the most is what I have campaigned against for like 15 years. It is unarmed black men and women getting killed by white cops,
Right.
getting murdered by
Right.
white cops. That's the first. That needs to be attacked first. And then after that, we're already to a point of enlightenment, to racial sensitivity, where we are attacking all of the vestiges that got grandfathered in of slavery.
Right.
Statues, symbols, take them down. Take them down. We talked about George Preston Marshall and that nickname Redskins.
Yeah.
Well, they took his statue down outside RFK. Good, take them down.
Right.
So this is all progress, but it's just baby steps
Correct.
toward the ultimate goal. So I sympathize with the National Football League trying to think, well, okay, how do we do this? Well, to me, I want to see kneeling, and I wouldn't mind hearing the Black national anthem every game all year. I don't know how you'd feel about that. That's, again, my 2 cents from this side of the table, but we need to keep the conversation going. We cannot, so to speak, let it fade to black, because
Right.
it can't fade to black,
Right.
or all this will be lost. All this moment in time with the doors and minds open will be lost.
Right.
So I would advocate hearing this song before every game ahead of our quote unquote national anthem, just to keep it top of mind,
Right.
what we just went through. That's just my little point.
Well,
of view.
if it's going to lead to bringing about change,
Okay,
play
I got it. But you know and I know focus will bring about change.
Yes.
Conversation, strong conversation will bring about change.
Not symbolic gestures.
Okay, not symbolic gestures, but we do know that Minnesota is saying no more chokeholds. Okay, that's a small start, right?
Well, the chokehold's been outlawed.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if the police, because script, that's what it calls, because you have to, and the Supreme Court said we have to look at the police officers, not as we sit here today. What was he thinking at the very moment? Skip, I used the chokehold. Skip, I was in fear for my life. That's his word. That's what he felt. How do we question what he feels at that given moment? So therefore, he's allowed to use the chokehold. Boom, he gets off.
Did it look like he was in fear of his life?
No.
With a hand in his pocket?
Exactly. So doing away with qualified immunity. Skip, I'm listening to some of the police use.
Yep,
Skip,
I got it.
do you know you have to give the police officer, if he's accused of the murder, you have to give him 48 hours? Now, if I kill somebody, they know I did it. You think they're going to give me 48 hours to let me formulate what I'm going to do? And then you got to turn over all your information, what the charges are against him. Really? The only way to get it done, they're going to have to break these unions.
Yep.
You're going to have to break these unions, Skip. They got
Agreed.
to,
Okay.
for lack of a better word, Skip, they got us in figuratively and really, literally a chokehold, Skip.
Yeah.
Because they're so powerful that nobody wants to take them on.
Okay, but doors have been cracked open, and you got to run through them.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's the thing, though, Skip, it's just a crack.
Yep.
This thing got
Just a
swing,
crack.
it got to swing wide open. It ain't good enough for one or two. Because see, that's what they did, Skip. They cracked the door open and they said, you got Oprah, you got Michael Jordan, you got LeBron, you got a few through. Nah, we trying to get this opened up and get a lot of them through.
Hear both you guys. Good stuff from you. Appreciate you sharing your opinions there. And I do want to shift a little bit to Zion, because throughout all this quarantine, we've wondered, how's he looking? How's he doing? Well, he's revealed his post-quarantine shape. And let me just tell you, looking pretty good. We'll discuss next.